Oh, you know what else was interesting in this case? You know what else was interesting? There was actually an arrest warrant from United States District Court, Northern District of New York, signed by Judge Wiley Danks, magistrate from Syracuse. There was an arrest warrant, and they still couldn't keep him.
The state of New York cooperates. We cooperate in removal of individuals who've served time. We respond to detention. You're confusing, and maybe there's a lesson in civics here that's necessary.
On the record right here, I got 12 seconds. Will you say on the record, was Tompkins County wrong in the actions they took on January 25th, 2025, when they wouldn't hold the guy for 1 hour and 18 minutes?
Those are not the policies that we would have in the state of New York. Those are not the policies we would have in a
Were they wrong? Should they have turned that guy over to ICE? It's a simple question, Governor.
That was a horrible situation. The person should not have been out there.
It's a horrible situation, but it's a yes or no question.
It is a response that this is a locality.
Do you agree or disagree?
In the state of New York, the person should have been held.
Yes or no?
The person should have been held, and in the state of New York, we would have turned him over. That is in conflict with what we would do as a state with respect to prison. And I want to know why ICE won't come and pick up the individuals who have served time in our state. I have cases where they have not even shown up.
A court order and a detainer for a guy who did the things Mr. Hernandez did, and Tompkins County can't hold him an hour and 18 minutes, and you won't say that's wrong?
Hello, Patriots. Today, we're diving into a shocking case that reveals the devastating consequences of sanctuary policies and how these reckless decisions threaten the safety of our communities. We'll break down what happened in New York when a dangerous criminal was set free by local officials, ignoring federal ICE detainers, and how this is part of a larger war on law and order. If you care about protecting America, securing our borders, and standing up for the rule of law, this is the video for you. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to Conservative Mandate and hit that notification bell. Leave a like and comment below to let us know your thoughts on this insanity. Watch until the end, because we'll expose how you can fight back against these destructive policies and hold these weak leaders accountable. Now let's get straight into it. Picture this. A man named Jesus Romero Hernandez, a criminal who's been deported not once, not twice, but 7 times, sneaks back into our country. He then commits horrific crimes, assaulting an innocent resident with a machete, choking a police officer, and assaulting a corrections officer while in custody. This is a criminal who IC identified and had a court order to deport. They sent a detainer to Tompkins County Jail, clearly stating, "Hold this man, we'll come pick him up." What do the local officials do? They refuse to hold him. Yes, you heard that right. They released this violent criminal back onto the streets instead of waiting just 1 hour and 18 minutes for ICE to arrive. Imagine the audacity of these so-called leaders. They ignored a federal arrest warrant, prioritized their sanctuary policy over the safety of their citizens, and unleashed a known danger onto the public.
Recognizes Mr. Jordan from Ohio.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Governor Hochul, 3rd paragraph, 2nd sentence in your written testimony, you said New York State cooperates with U.S. Immigration Customs Enforcement in criminal cases. Governor, who's Jesus Romero Hernandez?
Thank you. I want to reaffirm that we do cooperate in cases where...
That wasn't the question. I just read your statement. I can read your statement. Who is Jesus Romero Hernandez?
I don't have the details on every single person in a state of 20 million people.
I understand, but this guy's a citizen of Mexico, deported 7 times, came to your state, assaulted one of your residents with a machete, choked a police officer, then when he was in custody, assaulted a corrections officer. ICE finds out this guy is in your state's custody, and they send you a detainer. You're familiar with a detainer, right?
Yes, I am.
Notice of action, immigration detainer to Tompkins County Jail from Syracuse Immigrations and Customs Enforcement. Section 1, they check a couple boxes. The first one they check is a final order of removal against the alien has taken place. That means a court has said this guy needs to go. This machete-wielding, cop-choking, corrections officer assaulting guy needs to go. Then they also check another box and they say biometric confirmation of who this individual is, this alien's identity. So they got the right guy, and a court has said he needs to go. Any idea what Tompkins County Jail decided to do with that detainer order?
I will tell you this, the state of...
It's a specific question.
No,
what did Tompkins County do?
The descriptions you have put forth are absolutely chilling and disturbing and reprehensible to all of us. My job is to protect the people of New York.
Question. What did Tompkins County do?
What I have responsibility
I will tell
for
you,
are
since you're not going to
state
answer,
courts,
we
state
cannot
police.
and will not hold Mr. Hernandez.
Yeah.
We can't keep the machete guy who had choked a police officer and assaulted a corrections officer. We can't keep him. In fact, we have the back and forth from Tompkins County and ICE on January 28th of this year, 8:56 p.m. Tompkins County tells ICE, we're not going to hold this guy. 7 minutes later, ICE responds back, we will be there to take custody this evening. 24 minutes later, Thompson County reiterates, we're not going to have him. We're not going to turn him over. 10:45. ICE arrives at the jail. 1 hour and 18 minutes later, and guess what? Mr. Hernandez is not there. They couldn't wait 1 hour and 18 minutes for a guy who assaulted one of your residents with a machete, choked a police officer, and then when in custody, assaulted corrections officers. That is sanctuary policy in a nutshell, and that is what your state supports, and so do these other governors. That is what is so wrong, why the American people hate this concept.
You're conflating what the state of New York does is I control state police and prisons. We have turned over 1,300 people.
So you disagree with it?
We turn over 1,300
Did the sheriff make the wrong
people.
call?
Those are local policies that we would not have done in the state of New York. State of New York, that is a
So you're
local
saying the
decision.
sheriff's wrong?
I would say this, if it happened in a state prison, we have already turned over 1,300 people.
Sheriff in Tompkins County, a Democrat or Republican, Governor?
There have
You have
been
any idea?
times, excuse
The
me.
sheriff in Thompson County, a Democrat or Republican?
Excuse me. There have
No,
been
excuse me,
times.
I
when-
ask the questions, you give the
Well, I'm
answers. Is he a
asking
Democrat or
for a
Republican?
second.
You know?
I'm asking for this moment to explain that I'm sometimes waiting
I'm
for
asking,
ICE
is he a
to come pick
Democrat or
up
Republican,
people.
and do you agree with the
believe
actions
he's a
he took?
Democrat.
Do you agree with the actions he took? How about that question?
They are in conflict with what the state of New York would do.
Well, maybe they're scared. By the way, he is a Democrat sheriff. Maybe the county guys are a little scared because you said this. I'm quoting from, it looks like the New York Times. We all know you can trust them. This is last month, May 25th. You said we have some counties that are renegade counties and work with ICE. Maybe they're nervous of being called a renegade county by their governor. So the Democrat sheriff says, we're not going to keep the machete-wielding, cop-choking, corrections officer assaulting guy. We're not going to keep him here for you to get here. We can't even wait an hour and 18 minutes. Oh, you know what else was interesting in this case? You know what else was interesting? There was actually an arrest warrant from United States District Court, Northern District of New York, signed by Judge Wiley Danks, magistrate from Syracuse. There was an arrest warrant, and they still couldn't keep him.
The state of New York cooperates. We cooperate in removal of individuals who've served time. We respond to detention. You're confusing, and maybe there's a lesson in civics
will
here
you
that's
say
necessary.
on the record right here, I got 12 seconds. Will you say on the record, was Tompkins County wrong in the actions they took on January 25th, 2025, when they wouldn't hold the guy for 1 hour and 18 minutes? Was
Those are
Tompkins
not the
County
policies
wrong?
that we would have in the state of
No,
New
no,
York. Those
but-
are not the policies we would have in a.
Were they wrong? Should
Because
they
I've already
have turned
said
that guy over to ICE? It's a simple question, Governor.
that was a horrible situation. The person should not have been out there, and
It's a horrible situation, but it's a yes or no question.
it is a response that this is a locality.
Do you agree or
in the
disagree?
state of New York,
Agree or
the person
disagree?
should have been held.
Yes or no?
The person should have been held, and in the state of New York, we would have turned him over. That is in conflict with what we would do as a state
appreciate
with
the chair's
respect to
indulgence. I
prison.
yield back.
And I want to know why ICE won't come and pick up the individuals who have served time in our state. I have cases where they have not even shown
Governor,
up.
a court order and a detainer for a guy who did the things Mr. Hernandez did, and Tompkins County can't hold him an hour and 18 minutes, and you won't say that's wrong?
I have said we cooperate when there's a criminal case where someone has committed a
This is
crime. We
sanctuary
turn them
policy.
over.
This is sanctuary policy in a nutshell. You won't even
You're
condemn something that
mischaracterizing.
anyone with common sense knows is ridiculous.
You're mischaracterizing the laws of the
Security,
state
I had
of
the
New York.
facts here.
That's
Oh,
all
can I
right.
do one other thing, Mr. Chairman? Now he's been rearrested, and guess what? This guy who's now been rearrested, there is imminent danger that this inmate will do injury
give
to
him a
himself and
minute.
to others and presents a threat to safety, security, and good order of the facility, so he's not permitted to leave his cell. So this guy is not even allowed out of his cell, but they let him out on the street a few months ago. That's how ridiculous this is.
When he does leave his cell, it'll be go back to
Gentlemen,
his country under our
time's
orders of
expired.
deportation.
Chair recognizes Mr. Mfume, and I'll give you an extra minute.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I've got 2 unanimous consent requests that I hope would not count against my time.
This is exactly what's wrong with sanctuary policies. These policies don't protect our communities. They protect criminals. They tie the hands of law enforcement and put innocent Americans at risk. What's even worse, the governor of New York, when confronted about this, dodged responsibility. He tried to distance himself from the actions of the local sheriff, calling it a local decision. But this isn't just a local decision. This is systemic failure, a failure of leadership, a failure of common sense, and a failure to uphold the rule of law. Let me ask you this, patriots. Who are these policies really serving? Are they protecting your family, your community, your freedom? Absolutely not. They're pandering to radical leftist agendas that prioritize illegal aliens over law-abiding Americans. This is the kind of chaos the left wants to normalize, and we must stand against it. Here's the kicker. Hernandez was rearrested after being set free, and now he's considered so dangerous that he's not even allowed out of his cell. Think about that for a moment. They wouldn't hold him for ICE, but now they're locking him down because he's a threat even to other inmates. This is not just incompetence. It's outright betrayal of the American people. Patriots, this is why we must fight back. Our communities are under attack from weak leadership that prioritizes criminals over citizens. We need strong leaders who will stand up for law and order, secure our borders, and reject sanctuary policies once and for all. It's time to hold these officials accountable. Share this video with your friends and family to spread the word. Let them see the reality of what's happening in our country. Comment below and let us know if you think these sanctuary policies should be banned nationwide. And most importantly, subscribe to Conservative Mandate to join the fight for America's future. Together, we can take a stand against the insanity and demand the leadership this country deserves. Stay strong, patriots. The fight isn't over. It's just beginning.